Hello, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and we're in the final week of July. It is the 26th of July, and this is 3 at 3. Every business day, 3 p.m. Eastern or thereabouts, we bring you unusual option activity from our sentiment scanner as well as the heat seeker algorithm. And now let's kick off today's 3 at 3. Our disclaimer is that this is being presented for educational and informational purposes only. Our intellectual property rights are, but are not limited to, copyrights, trademarks, patents, and registered marks. Get the idea. We have a lot of intellectual property tied up in what we're producing. We appreciate you sharing it with your friends, but we would ask that you do not use it in a commercial venue without asking our permission. There's my brother Pete talking about big options activity today with Scott Wapner and the halftime report. So let's dive in. ViacomCBS was the first that Pete talked about today. ViacomCBS stock was 41.36. As you can see, fractionally higher, less than 1%. And they're buying the August 48 calls, which is a substantial move higher than where the stock is. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you already know what I'm about to say. I could practically just not say it. But since some of you are first-time viewers, and we appreciate all of you, no matter how long you've been with us, the issue here is I don't like buying way out of the money calls. So as far as ViacomCBS and picking something that's, give or take $6.50 out of the money, I would rather buy something closer to the money. These are regular August timeframe options, folks, and be in those options with another option written against it. And I do that because then I can move the odds into my favor. So for instance, those 48 calls that Pete's talking about there, those AUG 48s, they are right now trading for 60 cents. Okay, that's what the stock at 41.92. So almost 60 cents higher than where it was there on the screen. Nonetheless, what am I going to want to do? And what did I do? I bought the 41.50 calls and sold upside calls against it. So I was able to buy those 41.50s for approximately $2.15. And I sold the upside calls. Let's see, which ones did I sell against it? The 44.50. So that's 41.50s against the 44.50s. What's the differential? $3 between those two strike prices. How much did I pay? I paid, as I say, $2.15. I collected $1.16, it looks like. So let's just make it $1.15, just because that way I would have paid $1 for something that could go to $3. I don't like one-to-one risk rewards. I like having 2-to-1 risk reward. So that's what I did. And I joined Pete on this trade. There you see 9,500 of those August 48 calls. But again, I didn't buy those calls. In fact, I sold calls that were underneath that level. There's a little chart of Viacom. As you can see, basically just after mid-July, it did have a spike up to 47 before selling off rather harshly during that sell-off last Monday. It's been making its way back up, but all the more reason I like being in a trade where I can benefit without having to have the stock go crazy. Here is the second of our 3 at 3, and it is NIO. NIO, Chinese. Now, Pete's stepping out here because we all know that there's a lot of pressure on Chinese stocks. It's come from the People's Republic of China and their Communist Party. So Pete noticed, and I noticed, the unusual activity in the July 44 calls. Now, these calls expired this week, so you're going to want to be quick. Why? Because an expiring option is a dangerous option. It's great because you're not having to wait too long to be right or wrong, and they will react very quickly, but also you have a limited amount of time to be right. So they're buying these July 44 calls. Pete says he'll probably be in it 1 to 3 days. I'm right there with him. buying those July 44 calls. This was an in the money trade. Stock was 44.87, as you see here, when we saw that, and they bought 11,000 of these calls. So pretty big trade. There's where the stock is now, slipped about $1. And this is one of those highly risky trades that I'll tell you, you got to be nimble. And if we end up having to cut losses fast, that's exactly what we'll do. Third of our 3 at 3 is X, letter X, which is, of course, US Steel. Stock's $23.99, that's $24, let's say. They buy 10,000 of this week expiring July 26 calls, $2 full out of the money. So if you, again, are getting the hang of what I'm talking about, I am going to buy an at the money call and sell those July 26 calls or another call against it. So let's take a look at where we are there. July calls, the 26s are trading for 30 cents right now. 10,000 of them, 30 cents. Each option is $30 times 10,000, 30,000 bucks. Okay, that's a big trade. I like to pay attention to them when they're throwing out a million share equivalent on these trades. So let's just say that I want to buy the 24 calls and paid, what, 85 cents and sold these July 26s against it. That way I've got a $2 spread. I'm going to have, if we trade to the upside, I'm going to have a chance to make more than double my money, more than triple my money. Because if I paid 85 cents and sold the others for right around 30 cents, you guys know the differential there. I'm going to have better than a 3-to-1 risk reward. There is the stock, $23.97, virtually the same spot where it was when Pete cited it on the halftime report and when I saw it here. All right, let's talk a little bit about unusual option activity. We do that every day. Throughout the day, we see sentiment, which we get from Wall Street Bets and Twitter, as well as unusual option activity from our heat seeker. We post it up for our subscribers, and yes, they get it ahead of this show. They don't know which ones I'm going to talk about on the show, nor do they know which ones I'm going to talk about on halftime. However, they do know that the opportunities presented are being presented because it met those criteria, unusual option activity, whether it's a call or a put. So if you want to find out more about it, go to marketrebellion.com/UOA to see more. Questions? You've got questions, and apparently you had a lot of them today. I've got some answers. Let's see if I have all the answers. You can shoot them to me at Jon Najarian on Twitter. Joel Altman asks, well, I bought FE for UOA, unusual option activity. Since then, it's gone up in the morning, only to crash in the afternoon. Is that a bad sign, or will it pass? And of course, we would both prefer it just went up and up and up, but occasionally they spike and then somebody comes in and sells it because they don't know why it spiked. They don't know it was because of unusual option activity, perhaps. And then the next day, we see another move. So, Joel, I am holding. It's 20 cents higher than where it closed on Friday. I'm still in the trade. FE, First Energy. Let's do this one. Boeing, Benz Gub, and his handle is at BENZGUB. BA earnings, any activities? Tons. You heard me talk about them for weeks, and we made a lot of coin on this one. Remember, it was $210 about a week ago. We caught multiple upside moves in Boeing. However, they all expired. So right now I have 0 Boeing position, 0. Why? Because the time frame that they picked, the smart money, expired last week. I don't have anything that extends out further than that. So if I do not have that, I'm not in the trade. Now, if you're still in it, more power to you. Hope you stick them hard. But I didn't see fast money and smart money holding on to calls that were further dated, so I am not in further dated calls. Roku, Alfan Mithani, and Alfan's handle is at allfun786. Do you like Roku? unusual option activity calls here? Yes. Here's why. This morning, Alfon, 15,000 of those July 30 calls, of the July 500 calls that expire on the 30th, which is this Friday, mostly bought $6 to about $11.50. Bullish call buying, out of the money by 17 bucks. Yeah, I like that. So it's the only way I would play this one is with options because the stock's 500 bucks, give or take. So I like the idea of owning that option at the money, selling a higher strike, taking some of that $6 or $11 risk down, cutting it substantially, and also being aware that since these are fast time decay options, I'm not going to get burned by overstaying my welcome. I'm going to trade them fast in and out. By the way, just to give you an idea where Roku is right now, ROKU is $4.79, so it's $3.50 lower than where it was here. All right, folks, thank you for joining me today. I hope that you will explore marketrebellion.com/get started. Why do I hope that? Well, because it puts food on the table for all of us. And because if you want to learn to be a better trader, whether that's with charts, we've got one of the best in the business, AJ Monty. Whether that's with options, again, we have some of the best in the business. We've got Brian McCormick, we've got Ryan Mastro, we've got Chris. We've got so many folks that can help you be a better trader for stock, options, futures, crypto, you name it. We've got somebody that can help you out. You can take courses online. You can also sit in on webinars that are free to you if you're a subscriber. And I encourage you to check it out at marketrebellion.com/get started. Thank you, folks. Hope this was both entertaining and informative. And I look forward to informing you tomorrow right back here on Market Rebellion Television. See you then.